Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Nana and today I'm going to be talking about all of the books I want to read for the rest of the summer. It's the end of June now, so I have 2 months left. And I'm sitting outside. Hopefully the weather will be alright, so fingers crossed. And yeah, let's just jump right in because I have a lot of books that I want to talk about. Firstly, I want to talk about translated books because that is a goal of mine this year. And I want to start with a Fredrik Backman book because I loved Beartown by Fredrik Backman. Fredrik Backman is a Swedish author and Beartown was really wonderful. It is one of my favorite series. It was really deep, dark, but also funny, and yeah, it just had everything to it. And I'm hoping that A Man Called Over will give me that same emotionally roller coaster thing, right? I know it's about a man called Over, and he's a bit bitter, and he's 59 years old, and he lives at this apartment complex, and something is happening, and then you learn why he's so strict, why he's so bitter, why he's always a rule follower, and I think you also follow other people living at that apartment complex, and then also a stray cat. Yep. That's what the synopsis said. I don't know much else, but I have heard wonderful things. So yeah, I just think Fredrik Backman is so talented and I cannot wait to try this book. Then we have a classic, I guess, and it's by Gabriel García Márquez and it is called 100 Years of Solitude. I think this book is from 1967. I have heard great things, but it's also really old. I don't know. Netflix made a TV adaptation of this book. I think it's a series, not a movie. And I'm like contemplating whether I should watch that or read the book first. I don't know. I know it is a family saga, and that's pretty much it. I've just heard great things. So yeah, I'll have to consider. And then I have a Viola Ardone book. The other books were from the library, but I actually do own this book and I have it in Danish, but it's called The Children's Train in English. This book is about Italy right after the Second World War, and Italy was really struggling, definitely the southern parts of Italy, and that's why a lot of kids were sent to the northern parts of Italy. And you follow this story of this young boy who gets sent to the northern parts, and then also his mother who had to sent him away, and it's about their struggles, and I think he cuts like completely contact with her, and it sounds really sad, and I have something with separation themes that could really make me cry. Have you seen Dumbo? Never again. But anyways, I think this is going to be a really beautiful read, and there's a movie as well. I have heard great things, so yeah, I will see, but again, I think this is a good option for a translated book. So yeah. Then I also borrowed Nostra from the library by Marina and Sergey. Dyachenko, maybe. They are Ukrainian authors and it is written in Russian. And it is a fantasy trilogy series, I think. And it's about these kids getting tricked to go to this magical school. And this school is probably not the best. And if you don't do what they say and you don't do their assignments, they will punish the people that you love the most. So I think it's a bit of a darker fantasy series. I've heard great things about Vita Nostra. I just haven't really heard of anyone reading the rest of the series, so I'm a bit curious to see what's going on. But anyways, Russian, Ukrainian. Then I have another Swedish author, and that's Annika Norlin, and it's the book The Colony, and this book, I think it was in 2024 that it won some prizes, and it's about Emily who quits her job. She really did have a big thing going on for her, but she's burnt out, and then she goes to the countryside, and at this lake or river she finds this group of I think 7 other people, and they have withdrawn from society and they just have their own thing going on, and she joins this group. She stirs it up a little bit. Things are happening. I think it's really a group study and also a social commentary. So maybe it does have the same vibes as Fredrik Backman. That would be really cool. But yeah, I'm really excited to see what this book can do. So, another Swedish author. Then I have 2 romance books, because I did read a lot of romance this spring, so let's keep it a bit shorter this time. But I have One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston, and I think this could be really similar to The 7 Year Slip, because you follow Jane and August. Jane is from the 70s and August is from present time, but apparently they do take the same train every day to work together. So the timelines are crossing. I think that's the plot, and they fall in love. Yeah, that's all I know, but it really does sound like The 7 Year Slip, and I did like that. And then we have The Match by Sarah Adams. I just really wanted to try a Sarah Adams book, and my library had this, but I don't know if I should just find another one, because this really deals with epilepsy a lot, because Evie, the female main character, has epilepsy, and Jacob's daughter also has epilepsy, and epilepsy is something that you can develop when you have a brain injury, like my daughter, and she has cerebral palsy, and some of these cerebral palsy kids also gets epilepsy, and a lot of them are dying from this, and I think I picked the wrong Sarah Adams book. Yeah, I will see. And let's move on to the mystery, scary, thriller books that I have. And the first one is called Penance by Eliza Clark. I don't know much, but I know it's about this journalist who is interviewing a lot of people about this murder that happened 10 years ago. And the victim was this 16-year-old girl. That's pretty much all I know, but I heard that it is a bit messy. I think it's like from TikTok, that messy girl hot topic that's going around right now. So I don't know exactly where to put this, but I will see. I'm really excited to start this. It sounds really interesting and exciting, so yeah. Then I have 2 Grady Hendrix books that I want to read. I have only read 2 other books by Grady Hendrix, but I love them so much. And that was the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires and My Best Friend, Exorcism. And I really do want to try Witchcraft for Wayward Girls. That's the newest release. And this book is about teenagers, girls, that are pregnant and they get sent away to this place to deliver their babies and then come home and pretend like nothing ever happened. And at this place they discover some magic there, and I think they are, with the magic, fighting for their rights, something like that. But it sounds really interesting. I love Grady Hendrix writing. I love his stories, and I love the feministic tone to it. I really appreciate that, so I'm hoping that this book will also be a great book. I have heard great things so far, so yeah. And then there's also Horrorstor, and I think this is about a haunted shop. And then people are getting the opportunity to stay there overnight to see what is going on. Yeah, so haunted house vibes, something like that. I'm really excited to try that one as well. And then I have You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight by Kalynn Bayron. I think this is a horror book as well, but maybe more middle grade or YA. And you follow Charity, who is working at this summer camp, and it says that it's a full contract tarot game that she's working at. So she's there to scare people. But the last weekend there, her co-workers are going missing, and there's a murder on the loose. I love the cover of this book, I'm just saying. Yeah, I think this would be a great book for Summerween, you know. So yeah, I'm saving that for that. Then I have another book in the genre as well. I'm not exactly sure, but it is by Eliza and John Mandell, and usually she writes post-apocalyptic or sci-fi themed book where you follow a lot of characters and then it's all like connected in the end. And I think this is the same, and there's also different timelines in this book, but that's all I know. It's called The Glass Hotel. I really love Eliza and John Mandell's writing. I know it's not for everybody, but I think that, I don't know, there's just something really, really nice to it. I'm really excited to try this. I haven't seen a lot of people talking about this book, so yeah, I don't know, but I have high hopes. So yeah. Then I have a literary fiction, and that's called Blue Sisters by Coco Mellors, I think. And this book follows 4 sisters, but I believe one of them just recently passed away. You're dealing with family drama and grief, and I have heard great things about this book. A lot of people were reading it last year. I think a lot of people were saying that it was one of their favorite books. So yeah, I am really excited to try this. I do love literary fiction as well, and I think this could be right up my alley. Then I have a lot of fantasy sci-fi books, and the first one is Schwab's The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. You follow Addie. I think she's living her life over and over again, or she's reborn. I don't think it's the same life, but time is passing. But no one can remember her. Until one day she meets Henry, and he can, and they fall in love. But I think they are fighting this possibility that one day he might forget about her. It sounds really, really good. I have not read a book from V.E. Schwab before, so I'm really excited to try one. I think this is one of her most praised books. And also the one with the magic. It's a bit chunky, but that's okay. Then I have a book that has been on my TBR, on my past TBRs, and that's called One Dark Window, but this time I'm gonna read it this summer. But you follow Elspeth, and Elspeth lives in this kingdom, Blunder. And Blunder is haunted by some evil things. And Elspeth has a monster living inside of her. And she can fight the evil in Blunder. That's all I know. It's a duology by Rachel Gillic. And yeah, I have heard really great things. I think there is some romantasy aspect to it as well. So then we have a YA romantasy series that has been all over BookTube, and I haven't read it, and that's called Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I think I'm the only one who hasn't read it yet. I don't know. YA romantasy has let me down lately. Let me tell you that. Would this be the one that would not let me down, or is this just another YA romantasy that's really cringe? I don't know. I know it's about dragons, and that's all I know. I have heard that a lot of people are calling this book really convenient. Yeah, I will see for myself what I think. Then I have an adult fantasy series. I don't know how big the fantasy element is to the series, or the magical element is, but it's called That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon. I think it's about her who saved him, and he is a demon. That's all I know. I think it's a little bit spicy, but yeah, I think this series will be great for this summer. I have heard great things. I heard that it should be really funny and cute, and yeah, I will see. I also really do want to read the newest release in the Hunger Games series, where you follow Haymitch's perspective. I haven't read the Ballad of Song and... No. You know, the one where you follow President Snow? I have just heard not so great things about that, because you do follow President Snow, obviously, and he's just a bad guy all the way through. And I don't know if that's necessarily my thing, but I really do want to read Haymitch's perspective. I read The Hunger Games in my teenage years, and I have reread it since, but I really do want to go back to that whole world. That was just such a great series. I think this is going to be a great read, and a lot of people are just reading this book and are loving it. Maybe I could do it as a buddy read with my husband. I just have to convince him to do that, but yeah, I will see. I also do want to read the Puppy War series by R.F. Kuang. What it is about, I have no idea, but I think it's like high-stake fantasy. I will see. And there's also the Red Rising series. I know this is about some colonies on a planet. Maybe Mars? I'm not sure, but you know, there are only a few rich people there, and then the rest of them are hard-working people, and they're starting to rebel. And I think it's about this whole great big war, the good fighting the evil thing, classical fantasy series, sci-fi series. Then there's also the Powerless series by Lauren Robert. And this is definitely YA, but it has been so popular, and yeah, I also want to see what it is about. And there's so many fantasy series that is not finished yet, but it has gotten so much hype. The Will of the Many by James Islington. That series sounds really, really good. And I do want to give it a try, but I think I want to wait. And there's also the Blood and Ash series. I think that's like adult romantasy, but the ratings are really high on Goodreads, and that sounds really great as well. And also Carissa Broadbent's something Serpent something series. That one has also got a lot of praise, and I really do want to read that as well. But I want to wait a little bit, I think. I will see what I'm in the mood for. But yeah, that was the books that I want to read for this summer. Obviously, I'm not going to get through all of them, but hopefully a lot of them. And I hope that you found some inspiration. And yeah, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in another video. You take care.